All right, today is September 19th, 2016. This is a part 2 update for the 19th. And today, right now at 8:45 p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a temperature of 71 degrees. We have a relative humidity of 50%. Dew point is 51 degrees. And the barometer has risen to 30.03 inches. And that's an important number because it's rising as we have a hurricane approaching Southern California. This is very strange. We always watch how the barometric pressure rises suddenly as we have a hurricane approaching, or any kind of storm. If this was sweeping down out of the North Pacific into California, for example, we would see high pressure. The barometer would go up. And I have a couple of quick pictures I'd like to show here real quick. This is from this picture here is from this is the surface pressure map from about at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, now notice all the squiggly lines at the surface level all through here. This is where, right about the time that there was a blast that took place that blew apart an incoming moisture field. We had rain, a lot of rain in Mexico and offshore, and we can take a look at that here right now. But notice these squiggly lines. This is important because that indicates varying degrees of high pressure being forced into a area of low pressure to disrupt the rain process, the precipitation process. So let's go ahead and look at some of these other pictures. This one here is a screenshot taken from um, 5:10 p.m. This is the Doppler radar at 5:10 p.m. And we can see that the rain, there's a lot of precipitation offshore as well, but really not much in the LA area, which is right here. And we have the desert out here, Lancaster, and we have the foothills all along here. But notice all the rain just stops right about here, and there's very, very heavy chemtrailing all through the entire Southern California region. Very, very heavy chemtrailing. And let's look at another image from about an hour and 10 minutes later. This image here was a screenshot. This was taken at 6:19, and we can see that a lot of diminishment out here as there are surface radars out here, surface transmitters right on these islands, San Clemente, uh, uh, San Nicolas Island. There are sort of like golf ball, you know, golf ball radomes is what I'm trying to say. Phased array transmitters, and they are beaming microwave energy into these moisture fields as they approach the coast. And so this is what's happening. Now let's go back to the big maps and take a look at what's actually happening here. We can see that in the big map we have a right over LA. We had a sudden clearing in the skies. Now if we go ahead and take a look at the southwest, let's take a look at the southwest right here. This is the water vapor map for the southwest, and we had a sudden opening right here. There was a transmitter that blew this wide open, superheated the area. And if we look at this in the various maps, this is the rainbow map. We can see that suddenly we had very overcast skies all day. I thought it was actually going to rain. I was in South Irvine for most of the day, and down there it looked like it was going to rain. In fact, about 10 drops hit the windshield on my way, but that was about it. Very minimal amount of rain, didn't get the ground wet. It was just a very light sprinkle. Let's look at this in the visible light mode. We can see a hole being opened up right over Los Angeles, right here. And also there's some manipulation right out here. Let's go back to the water vapor map again. See, we have an upper level low right out here, which is a dry low. And as this hurricane, as the moisture from this hurricane approaches, some of that is winding into the core of this upper level low pressure right out here. Let's go back to the big map. We can see that a little better right here. This is where that upper level low is sitting with nothing in it. Stationary upper level, mid and upper level low. And as this hurricane approaches, some of that, there is some development here of moisture because of the low pressure and all this moisture, which is some of that is affecting, some of that is getting wound into the core of this system, because this is a low pressure. It is a vortex. It just doesn't have any moisture because they are forcing descending air. But obviously there is manipulation going on here. We can see there is a transmitter trying to separate and maintain a wall right here. We can see that it's not working 100%. In the area that did get into Southern California, they have blown that apart, and we can see that right here. So the effort is to maintain a an easterly flow and prevent the rain. And so they've got very, very heavy aerosols. Let's go look at the MODIS today map right now, and we can see we're looking at the Colorado River right here on the left side. And this is California. Right over here is Arizona. And look at the chemtrail spraying. This is amazing stuff. I mean, we have not seen chemtrail spraying like this in quite a while, several weeks. But as soon as the moisture threatens to bring rain into California and Los Angeles, which is right here, that's LA right there, we do see some natural clouds in this picture, this brilliant white. And then we see this gray crap, all this crap here. This is the stuff they're spraying out of the jets. All this stuff. We've been watching this all day long. And that stopped the rain. We were completely blanketed. You can see these new streaks here. These are probably maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes old, these things right here. So as we pan across the LA area, we can see that the entire area was blanketed. And all this stuff here, this is the natural clouds from the hurricane, which are trying to move in and deliver rain. Mother Nature is being stopped. These terrorists that are controlling our weather have stopped the rain in California, and we desperately need rain. And these people are terrorists, every bit as much as what we're being told on television about what's going on in New York City and over in Afghanistan and all the rest of it. We've had terrorism in our country for a long time. It's just the people don't know what's going on. Well, here it is, folks. This is why we didn't have any rain today. And notice the effort to spray over the Colorado River area to ensure that no rain falls. Up here near Lake Mead, Hoover Dam, Las Vegas, all this area is none of that moisture has even gotten up that far because it's all been sprayed and killed with transmitters. Let's go back and look. Okay, we saw that. But notice here, they're just blowing a hole right through this. They're killing all this off. The chemtrails will prevent the rain from falling elsewhere. Okay, now here's the western U.S. water vapor map. We can see that hurricane is actually being blown apart right here. We're going to take a look at that next. See the jet stream flow moving still through Oregon and partially through Northern California. We have another low pressure right here, which is slowly moving towards the west coast. This thing has a right angle on it, right there. See that right there? That is a right angle from a transmitter. Now notice in this map, this is the IR map, the rainbow map, we can see that they have targeted the storm, the center of Paine right here. And look at the core of that wide open up right there at the last few frames. They target that core to weaken it, and it literally opens up. We can see ocean right through the bottom part of that storm. Now, the storm has weakened. Let's take a look at the map right now. This is the National Hurricane Center map. And we can see that Paine is now diminished from 95 mile per hour winds about 4 hours ago down to 80 mile per hour winds. Storm is still moving, it's moving north-northwest now at 13 miles per hour. We also have a new disturbance indicated down here down in the eastern East Pacific right here. Okay, now let's quickly look at this is the East Pacific water vapor loop. We can see that better detail on what they're doing to this hurricane right now. They're blowing it apart. We can see color diminishment as it winds through the 7½ hour loop. Now if we go and take a look next at the rainbow map, we can see the blast pattern right here. Shock waves from the superheating process right there in the core. That's how they weaken that's how they weaken hurricanes, is they superheat the core with microwave energy, and that disrupts the convective process, and that weakens the storm. Now here in the visible light mode, we can see better detail. We can see what happens right there, and we can see the shock wave right here. There's a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, moving out to the southwest as that storm is targeted. And then we see the photoshopping here in the night transition. We can see that right over the center, the core of that storm. All right, let's look at the pressure maps. Now this most recent pressure map does not show all the squiggly lines like I was showing first. Things have stabilized. They've got some control here now over the southwest. Got this hurricane moving right up here. We have a high pressure indicated right here, and that will ensure that nothing gets into California. Next we have the 500 millibar. We see some squiggly lines. We've got that hurricane, a mid and upper level low right there. And then we have the 300 millibar map, and this is no longer an upper level low. They're hitting that very hard with microwave. We've got these 2 upper level lows, and we're not getting much rain, which is quite amazing. When we look at the maps here, very little rain, and we see that some rain is actually getting into Southern California, but not much. So we'll just have to maintain vigilance and see what they give us. So in the meantime, we'll just leave it right here. And oh boy, I think I missed that. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, Doppler map right here. Okay, so that's the update. I'm going to review this and see if it turned out, and then we'll post it.